welcome to Games from Folk Tales, a podcast that mixes historical research and tabletop role-playing settings. I'm your host, Timothy Ferguson. This week, a short episode with 3 characters drawn from the poetry of Edna St. Vincent Millay. Millay was an American poet, prolific in the 1920s. Her characters are brilliant for role-playing games. I'm not sure if I want these ones more for Ars Magica or Maginomia. The second one, the Singing Woman, seems to cross the realm alignment table for Ars Magica one time too many. So the first is a ghost, the second a human with the strong fairy blood virtue, and the third is a fairy, which has certain thematic links to the King of Elfland's Daughter, which we're exploring in an alternate series of podcast episodes. The recordings come from LibriVox. I'd like to thank the 2 readers and their production teams. And now, on to the spirits.
The Little Ghost by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by E.J. Lavery. I knew her for a little ghost that in my garden walked. The wall is high, higher than most, and the green gate was locked. And yet I did not think of that till after she was gone. I knew her by the broad white hat all ruffled she had on, by the dear ruffles round her feet, by her small hands that hung in their lace mitts, austere and sweet, her gown's white folds among. I watched to see if she would stay, what she would do, and oh, she looked as if she liked the way I let my garden grow. She bent above my favourite mint with conscious garden grace. She smiled and smiled. There was no hint of sadness in her face. She held her gown on either side to let her slippers show, and up the walk she went with pride, the way great ladies go. And where the wall is built in new and is of ivy bare, she paused, then opened and passed through a gate that once was there.
The Singing Woman from the Wood's Edge by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Chandra Homan. What should I be but a prophet and a liar, whose mother was a leprechaun, whose father was a friar, teethed on a crucifix and cradled under water? What should I be but a fiend's god-daughter? And who should be my playmates but the adder and the frog, that was got beneath a furze bush and born in a bog? And what should be my singing, that was christened at an altar, but aves and credos and psalms out of Psalter? You will see such webs on the wet grass, maybe, as a pixie mother weaves for her baby. You will find such flame at the waves' weedy ebb as flashes in the meshes of a mere-mother's web. But there comes to birth no common spawn from the love of a priest and a leprechaun. And you have never seen, and you never will see, such things as the things that swaddled me. After all's said, and after all's done, what should I be but a harlot and a nun? In through the bushes on foggy days my da would come a-swishin' of the drops away, with a prayer for my death and a groan for my birth, a mumbling of his beads for all he was worth. And there sit my ma, her knees beneath her chin, a-looking in his face and a-drinking of it in, and a-marking in the moss some funny little saying that would mean just the opposite of all he was praying. He taught me the holy talk of vesper and of matin. He heard me my Greek, and he heard me my Latin. He blessed me and crossed me to keep my soul from evil, and we watched him out of sight, and we conjured up the devil. Oh, the things I haven't seen, and the things I haven't known, what with hedges and ditches, till after I was grown, and yanked both ways by my mother and my father, with a which would you better, and a which would you rather, with him for a sire, and her for a dam. What should I be but just what I am?
Witchwife by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by E.J. Lavery. She is neither pink nor pale, and she never will be all mine. She learned her hands in a fairy tale, and her mouth on a valentine. She has more hair than she needs. In the sun 'tis a woe to me. And her voice is a string of coloured beads, or steps leading into the sea. She loves me all that she can, and her ways to my ways resign. But she was not made for any man, and she never will be all mine. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.